What the heck's the T-Riffic show? It appears to be a thing where the style keeps changing. First you laugh, then you feel, then you sing, then you think.
Wait, all that in one show?
Yes,
That's insane.
exactly.
You're doing a skit, got jokes to spit, so you wing it. That's absurd. You throw a pun, a slapstick run, and rhyme each silly word. Who would watch a guy in socks trip over props for fun? Apparently, everyone, because it's a comedy where laughter writes the melody with goofy gags and pratfall tags and punchlines flying faster than the flags. Silly faces, weird embraces, nothing's quite as freeing as a comedy. But what if the jokes get tired and the crowd's desire turns low? You grab a pen, you sigh again, and turn the lights down slow. Now hearts are breaking softly, the spotlight fades to blue. It's a balladry where words are painted tenderly with whispered chords and soft rewards and feelings floating gently through the chords. One tear, one true, one soul set free. That's the poetry of balladry. But wait, what's that sound? A beat, a groove, a key change born to move. We got rhythm in our veins, and the crowd begins to sway again. It's a musical, a jam so bright it's beautiful, with riffs that pop and hearts that bop, and everyone claps till the beat won't stop. Snap your fingers, feel that vibe. We're alive inside this musical. And when the music fades away and laughter's had its time, we settle down to stories told in meter, prose, or rhyme. For every giggle, every tear has led to something true. It's a chronicle of dreams that grow ironical, with twists and turns and lessons learned and tales that make your spirit burn. One heart, one mic, one soul to share. It's life retold in chronicle flair. A comedy, a balladry, a musical, a chronicle sincere. From laughs to feels, from beats to tales, the T-Riffic show prevails. Get a dazzling, heartfelt truth and giggle, show it all.
Hello, daydreamers and doodlers of destiny. Welcome back to the T-Riffic show. Tonight, we're stepping into a place where anything is possible, where your thoughts can dance, your ideas can fly, and your imagination can just simply run wild. And trust me, it's about to get weird in the best possible way.
All right, let's see what we've got here. Says their dream machine keeps spitting out nonsense. Happens all the time. Last week, a man dreamed his sandwich ran for mayor. Campaign promises, mustard on all ballots. Defeated by a rogue pickle in a coup d'etat. Politics are weird, even in dreams. Okay, tighten the logic bolts, polish the imagination gears, and now it's raining jellyfish. Not even polite ones. One winked at me. That's harassment. Cosmic harassment. I filed a complaint, but the clouds said it was out of their jurisdiction. Look, imagination's tricky. Fix one dream, another leaks out. Patch the rainbow generator? Clouds start gossiping. I've had cloud committees holding hearings on who forgot to bring the sun. And don't get me started on the moon. It's unionized now. I once had to chase a runaway tuba through 6 galaxies. Took 3 weeks and a lot of jazz shoes. Cosmic jazz shoes. Very expensive. They require tiny space insurance policies. I didn't have coverage. Disaster narrowly avoided by a musical miracle. And then there's dream physics. Gravity optional. Fire extinguishers sentient. Once patched a dream where gravity only worked sideways. People fell into their own coffee.
Messy!
But profound, sideways gravity makes you rethink your entire life path. Literally. Sometimes dreams are metaphors. A guy dreamed of a penguin filing taxes while tap dancing. Fixed the gears. Suddenly he realized he hated spreadsheets but loved interpretive dance. Deep, right? Therapy in dream form. Philosophical penguin therapy. Certified and then nonsense just is. Flying tacos, philosophical llamas, sentient shoelaces. You can't rationalize. You can only dance. Preferably with a hard hat. Dreams leak into reality. I patched a dream about a spaghetti tornado. Woke up to find my cat wearing pasta as a hat. Not a metaphor. Actual spaghetti. Existential and delicious. Chaos multiplies exponentially. Fix the logic? Rain jellyfish. Patch the imagination? Clouds gossip. Adjust the rainbow? Leprechauns strike for better pot of gold benefits. Consulted HR. They laughed. Cosmic HR. And the profound part? Dreams teach patience. You chase a floating library across dimensions, only to realize the knowledge you seek was inside you all along. Or at least inside the library's librarian, who is a literal llama. Sometimes I repair dreams and fix nothing. Sometimes I fix the tuba and unleash a symphony that awakens the cosmos. One day a man dreamed his socks were sentient. I patched the gears. Socks now lead a revolution, but he's happier somehow. Proof. Happiness doesn't obey logic. Other times, dreams are a warning. Don't ignore them. Don't overthink them. Oh, you see? Jellyfish again, but polite this time. They're waving. That's progress. So remember, imagination is untamable. Dreams are alive. They teach patience, resilience, humor, and occasionally jazz. Fix the logic? Sure. But the real lesson comes from slipping on a banana peel in zero gravity while a tuba serenades a jellyfish. Embrace the mess. Dance with the nonsense. And maybe, just maybe, learn a little about yourself while the jellyfish rain politely in the background.
Never underestimate a good imagination, or a bad wrench. You see, creativity is not about control, it's about curiosity. Now let's explore that message even further with a poem that lets the imagination stretch as far out as it wants to.
I dreamed of a color that didn't exist, not red, not blue, but somewhere they kissed. It shimmered like laughter, it hummed like the sea, it smelled like a cookie and sounded like glee. I tried to paint it, the brush danced away. It said, "I'm too wild for walls today." So I built a cloud and I gave it a name. It winked and said, "We're playing a game." My shoes learned to hum, my clock learned to swim, a dolphin recited a poem on a whim. Mountains grew wings, the rivers took flight, and umbrellas sang opera all through the night. The teacups pirouetted, the spoons learned to rhyme, the walls told me jokes, ignoring all time. My bookshelf recited sonnets to the floor, while shadows went dancing behind every door. I wrote with a pen made of lightning and cream. The words turned to fireflies caught in a dream. They circled the moon, then dove in my tea, whispering stories of who I could be. A snail built a castle on top of my hat. The stars took up knitting. The moon wore a cat. The wind painted rainbows in zigzags and loops, while clouds scribbled riddles on invisible hoops. I asked a tree why it wore polka dot shoes. It whispered, "I'm dancing the rhythm of blues." Rivers hummed lullabies, stones tap danced with flair, and every small pebble had a story to share. The kitchen utensils formed a tiny parade, with forks juggling spoons in the shimmer they made. Even my shadow bowed, then ran off to play, returning to tiptoe where colors held sway. Imagination, you mischievous spark, you draw in the daylight and paint in the dark. You make trees wear sunglasses, oceans wear bows, you give the wind secrets nobody knows. So dream your impossible, sketch your absurd, let silence sing backwards, let thunder use words. Let the clocks all jump rope, let the mirrors all wink, Let paper and puddles and pancake syrup think. For in every nonsense we scribble or scheme, we unlock the doorway to something supreme. A place where the colors that never exist play tag with the sun in a sugar glass mist. So paint without limits, let wonder expand, turn your ordinary world into magic unplanned. For the color that doesn't exist, it waits in your eyes, a wild laughing spark that can't ever disguise.
Now that is what imagination sounds like. Unpredictable, unstoppable, and even sometimes deliciously absurd. Now, let's turn that energy into sound. Here with our next musical explosion, it's Kai Rhythm with Imagination Unleashed.
Trumpets in the toaster, drums in the stew. Ideas collide, what's a mind to do? Imagination unleash, let the nonsense feast, where the colors talk and the daydreams teach, and the rules are out of reach. Electric banjos, flying saxophones. My thoughts are making prank calls to my phone. A bridge made of popcorn, a castle of rhyme. The beat skips twice and forgets the time. Imagination unleashed, let's paint the air with sound and speech. Every oops becomes a tune, every dream explodes too soon. A metronome tripped over its own feet. Now the silence learned how to swing the beat. Pianos argue, guitar reply. Every note just learned how to fly. Imagination unleashed, no logic, just believe. Let chaos take the wheel and steer, till the clouds all start to cheer. Who said sense was mandatory? Who decided normal tells the story? If it sounds wrong, turn it loud. If it feels strange, that's allowed. Rubber ducks on the tambourine, moonlight scratching vinyl dreams. A chorus trips but lands on key, mistakes invent new harmony. Rubber ducks on the tambourine, moonlight scratching vinyl dreams. A chorus trips but lands on key, mistakes invent new harmony. The imagination unleashed, set the nonsense feast, where the colors talk and the daydreams teach, and the rules are out of reach. Imagination unleashed, set the weirdness free. If it doesn't fit, remix it loud. That's the sound of creativity. Imagination unleashed, don't contain the spark. We'll light the dark with a question mark. Imagination unleashed.
Kai Rhythm just turned creativity into pure musical fireworks. Now let's close with a story that dives headfirst into imagination and teaches us what happens when you let it lead the way.
When the city fell asleep, the circus came alive. But not like any circus you'd expect. This one performed upside down. The tents floated in the air, anchored only by ribbons of starlight. The elephants juggled humans, who screamed and laughed in equal measure while clowns recited philosophy instead of throwing pies. Their motto? If gravity won't listen, neither will we. A girl named Nova stumbled into it one night, chasing a balloon that refused to obey physics. It zipped and zoomed, looping through clouds, diving between floating trapezes, and even pausing to wink at a passing acrobat. Nova's shoes bounced lightly off the pavement like tiny trampolines, keeping up with the balloon's antics. She met the ringmaster, a talking compass who never pointed north, only to fun. Its brass face gleamed and its hands spun erratically like they were dancing to a secret rhythm. "Welcome," the compass said, voice deep and melodic, to the Imaginarium. "Here, impossible is just breakfast, and breakfast is optional if you prefer dreams." Nova gawked. A lion with a paintbrush delicately outlined constellations across the night sky while humming lullabies. Acrobats swung from beams of moonlight, their silk ribbons trailing comets. A mime accidentally invented language again, gesturing in intricate poetry that seemed to float in the air before forming shimmering words. The popcorn sang backup vocals, harmonizing perfectly with a trombone-playing owl perched on a crescent moon. She wandered further and discovered a carousel spinning in midair, its horses with wings and tiny monocles. A juggler tossed teacups that never broke, bouncing them off invisible walls and catching them behind his back with a flourish. Tiny dragons flew by, trailing smoke shaped like question marks. Somewhere above, a cloud performed interpretive dance, arms of vapor swirling elegantly to the rhythm of a floating piano. But when the music stopped, a hush falling like a velvet curtain, Nova realized that everyone in the circus was waiting for her to dream something new. Without her imagination, the world would freeze mid-air, and even the balloon seemed to quiver in anticipation. Nova closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and whispered, "Let there be color." Immediately, the sky erupted in new wonders. Jellyfish lanterns floated in mid-air, glowing in soft pastels. Flying scooters zipped between acrobats. Ice cream tornadoes spun in impossible spirals, dripping whipped cream on laughing clowns. And the carousel horses began tap dancing in mid-air. The trapeze artist performed synchronized loops through rings of rainbow fire. Even the popcorn, enchanted by her command, rained down tiny sparkling notes that played songs as they landed. A parade of creatures appeared. Turtles wearing top hats, foxes on roller skates, and a band of rabbits drumming on glowing mushrooms. Nova's balloon glowed brighter, pulsing with her heartbeat as if it had become a part of her creativity. The audience, upside down, right side up, sideways, cheered and gasped, every gesture and flip more exaggerated and magical than the last. The ringmaster compass spun wildly, laughing. "Bravo! Bravo! You've added a whole new layer of impossible." Nova twirled in delight, kicking her feet into the stars. She realized something crucial. In this circus, the performers didn't just exist for amusement. They existed to amplify dreams. They needed dreamers like her. Every idea she conjured rippled through the tents, the clouds, the floating instruments, and even the very starlight above. Hours, or maybe minutes, time moved differently here, passed in joyous chaos. Nova painted the sky with invisible brushes, whispered riddles to the juggling elephants, and conducted a symphony of acrobatic raccoons. When she finally slowed down, she noticed the balloon gently landing in her hand, as if bowing to her for the performance. When she woke up the next morning, the city was quiet again. The streets were normal, the cars parked, and the clouds hanging lazily in their usual positions. But in her pocket was that same balloon, still glowing softly, whispering, "Keep dreaming, we'll be waiting." And for the first time, Nova understood. The circus didn't just appear at night. It appeared wherever imagination was bold enough to breathe, and now hers would never stop.
This episode has taught us that imagination does not follow rules, it rewrites them. Whether it's a runaway dream, a flying sandwich, or a circus turned upside down, creativity teaches us that we can only limit things until we dream past our limits. That being said, I will see you guys next time on the T-Riffic Show, and until then, stay bold, stay curious, and as always, I emphasize please, stay terrific.